This is a listener's note. There is some strong language used in this episode. Welcome back to Middle School Talk, the podcast where we talk about real talk about middle school. Today's topic is part 2 of our 2-part series that we started on Monday about mental health. There is no guest in this episode, so you just get me, your host, Thomas. My honest opinion about mental health in students and how it affects students at school is that mental health is a pain in the ass. That because all the stress and anxiety we have as students as we go through our educational process is that it affects us and how we act around our our friends and family, unless you do have fans. How we act different sometimes because we have that mental being of that stress and anxiety of worrying about something else, but it's not happening in that present time, and it affects us in our everyday life. So it's just a pain in the ass. So today's episode might be short because it's just me and there's no real conversation going on. It's just you and I. So today's episode might be short, and I don't promise if it will be 15 minutes long or 5 minutes long. Who knows? So stress, anxiety, mental health, big topic to talk about, but I'm talking about it. We probably all have stress and anxiety before. We probably all had that time in our life where we thought we couldn't do anything. We probably had that time in life where we just wanted to give up in life. But you just have to get up sometimes and have a growth mindset and be positive about what's going on around your life and try to bring out the positives instead of the negatives. And that I found that works, and that can help you a lot if you have that stress and anxiety, because if you don't try to bring that positivity in your life, and it's always good to talk to someone that you trust. It's always good to talk to someone that understands who you are, understands what you're saying, and understands what's happening in your life, which is a great thing that we have friends and people out there who care for us. So it might be a short podcast today. So I've had stress. I've had an anxiety, not just because I had a performance or a public speaking arrangement. It's because life is stressful. Life is anxious. Life is everything it can be. It just grabs you and tries to get the worst out of you. Tries to break you down. I don't let that happen, and we shouldn't let that happen. We should rise up. We should live our daily life how we want it. We should be who we are, not worry about what everyone thinks, because who gives a damn what people think, right? Because we just need to be who we are, just dress who we are, just be ourselves. And if people don't like who you are, then forget them. Who cares what they think? Who cares what their opinion is about you? It's just life is a pain in the ass sometimes. I'm just gonna say it. You think you're doing something right, but then all of a sudden everyone hates you, everyone dislikes you, everyone starts talking behind your back, but all because you did something that you thought was okay, you thought it was good, you thought maybe it didn't do anything, it was just like something you did, right? No, then everyone talks behind your back, yeah, I heard of that, did you hear what he said? Did you hear what she said? Oh my goodness, stop being friends with me. So it's just a pain in the ass sometimes. I'm just gonna say it. I'm kind of liking how this podcast is going. Just you and I. That's all. I like that. No guests. I kind of like this. If you guys like this kind of thing, just me talking and you listening, email us at talkmiddleschool@gmail.com, or I don't know, comment down below and give us a thumbs up if you like this kind of thing and not the guests who I ask questions or they talk about their experience. But we still want guests. We want your experience. We want your statements. We want all of that. So don't be afraid to contact us. What was it? Life. Just life. Life in general. I don't even know where this podcast is going today. I don't know where the episode's going. Don't you think sometimes like your teachers or like your school tries to make you have stress on purpose? Like all of a sudden they give you an exam, all of a sudden they give you a test, like all of a sudden, oh, you guys have homework for no reason. Don't you think that? If you do, comment below, or I don't know, contact us or something. I don't know where this is gonna go. Wherever you're listening, just where you can contact us, just tell us your answer to that question. I don't know why I keep saying us, it's just me. I'm lonely here on the podcast. Like, stress doesn't happen just in school, it's like life in general, like having like that feeling of that you're not good enough, that people are always judging you. So like you have that stress and like you have to be good or presentable to those people because you want to impress them. You want to be accepted in their group. I'm doing air quotations. Group. And it's like why should the hell we care if they like us or not? Just be who you are, be who we are as a person. But that's how our society is right now, and how it's been for like years and years, and I probably will be next year, and it'll probably be the same. But like we need to move on from that, and like it's like we're not all perfect. This podcast is not perfect. I see those dislikes on YouTube, and those dislikes I am not offended. They're giving me their honest opinion about it, which is a good thing, so then I can take that in consideration when I make this podcast episodes, and then I can be like, okay, what am I doing wrong? So don't take the negative in the way where it affects you. Take it in the way where it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't stop what you're doing as a person. Just take it as, okay, in consideration of maybe there's something wrong, but there's never something wrong about yourself. Unless you're doing drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. Dr. T. So, life is confusing sometimes. Life can be a lot of stressful. A lot of times, or sometimes, or maybe never. Maybe you have a perfect life, which I don't think is true. There's always something wrong with someone. It can be the littlest thing. It doesn't have to be something big. It doesn't have to be something extreme. But no one's perfect. I want everyone to know that no one's perfect, and you probably know that because I don't know. But people still believe that they need to be perfect in order to fit in, to belong, which is not true. It is false. It is F-A-L-S-E, false. False, false, false. Get that? Listen, remember. Education. It's good for us, but it's stressful sometimes. It's a mental breakdown source for us. Hell sometimes for us. We worry about if we're going to get a good grade in that class. We'll worry about how we're going to do in that class. And we'll worry about if our parents are going to yell at us because we didn't get that good grade that they wanted. Some parents do have high standards, which is sometimes hard to obtain to their standards, to get to that standard they have, which I understand that some of them do have. And just try your best. Try your best. And hopefully soon they understand that. Just think of something you can look forward to every day. Think of the positive thing you can look forward to every day. Just look forward to that. Then we can go from there. Thank you for listening. Today on Middle School Talk, the podcast, we talk about real talk about middle school. Today's topic was part 2 of our mental health series that we started on Monday, and this is the final part. And no guest spell because there's no guests. Thank you for coming on. See you guys.